Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. As you can see, I'm back in boats. In Microsoft Flight Simulator, but this time I'm in VR. I'm using something called Oculus Mirror to record everything here. It's a little bit tricky to make sure that my mouse is on the right application and OBS is recording the right thing. Yeah, basically, I'm absolutely sort of dying to get a VR ship simulator. As you can see, my channel I've been using Nautis Home, which might have VR support one day. And as you've seen, I've also tried out, some vessels in Microsoft Simulator. So here I am. Microsoft Simulator, of course, supports VR out of the box. And as you can see here, we've got this nice view around the vessel. This is from Asobo, from I think it's the North Sea sort of offshore assets package, which you can buy. So it's a sort of pay-where vessel. And as you can see, the experience in VR is really nice. Because I'm using Oculus Mirror, you're getting a stabilized view, I think, but the frame rate is significantly lower than I'm getting. Of course, Microsoft Flight Simulator needs a pretty beefy machine to run it, and it's running all sorts of things like asynchronous frame warp, whatever it's called, that basically double the frame rate in your headset from what's actually running it in the flight sim. So I just thought I'd talk about the experience for you. Yeah, it runs smooth for me. I think I'm on TSSA or not DLSS settings at the moment. I'm in Hamburg, which is close to where I live, and you can see there's photogrammetry. Not the best. It's not as good as New Zealand's photogrammetry, but here we are bobbing along. Of course, I can go to an external view like this, and I'm not too sure what you see. Yeah, so you see that. And I'm just powering up here, or trying to power up here. Yeah, so I'm using an Xbox controller. The one thing I've noticed is that this vessel at least kind of weather vanes as far as I can tell. So if I steer left there, so you can see it's quite sort of severe, it'll also weather vane into what I assume is the wind direction. So I'm not too sure if that's just this vessel or other ones. The other thing I want to show you is that the VR controls in Flight Sim do give you this ability to move around. So I can kind of get down to this seating position here. I can move into one of the seats here and give myself somewhat of a realistic view. Very good visibility in this. This is a crew vessel from Asobo. And you can see here we're popping along. There's no active gauges as far as I remember in here, but it's probably about 15 to 20 knots as far as I remember. So that's pretty cool. You can use the menu here. And if I remember, the camera menu, and we can get into a variety of internal. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, so we've got a few predefined views. So that is the captain's view. That's not great for me. This is just the front view here. And you get a nice sensation of speed. So we are zooming along quite nicely here. Probably too fast, actually. My controls don't work in this view, so I'm going to go back to. Just going to use my keyboard here. Right, I'm in trouble. Need to go back to pilot. Can I steer? Why can't I steer? So I've lost steering here, guys. There we go. Just in time before I crash into Blummenvoss. So it's just having that menu up seemed to take away the focus from the Xbox controller. Yeah, as you can see, photogrammetry doesn't really stand up super good detail. I've also got the Marinas package on, which is why you're seeing some more detailed vessels like those little rescue boats in between those ferries there at Landungsbrücken. So yeah, photogrammetry doesn't stand up super good when you're in this level of detail. I'm trying to slow down here. I'm going to try and stop. There's some of the tugboats, so you do have some scenery. I guess it's better than doing it all by hand, which is generally an issue. But you do get this feeling of being in Hamburg, those high buildings up there in the Reeperbahn, the Landungsbrücken, the Opera House up there in front. This is all industrial stuff. There shouldn't be a tree growing in that Blumenvosdock. But otherwise, it's pretty good. Yeah, so I was going to show you that you do have those. Just going to slow this vessel down. I need to watch because if you hold down the reduced throttle, it will go into reverse. My Xbox controller is also vibrating. I don't know if you can hear that. But what I wanted to say is that there are, some views here which are kind of worth experiencing in VR. So this is the interior space. You can see here we've got all our crew for our offshore wind farms, probably. But you do need to go back to... Oh, I'm not too sure what's happened here. Cockpit, reset position. All right, there. So there are a variety of views, and they all feel, of course, really good in VR. I think VR for a ship simulator, of course, is going to be more interesting when you've got maneuvering to do. So let's just move into the seat here. And of course, the scenery will kind of make a difference. On the one hand, Microsoft Flight Simulator is one of the few things which is giving you so much scenery. We tried, I think, was it Norwegian fjords last time, or Scottish coast, and now we are here in Hamburg. Of course, all this scenery is optimized, to be viewed from above. But I must say, I do feel like I'm in Hamburg. You've got the dynamic lighting and weather, so you can come in here at night time. So let's slow this down. And so it's that weird weather veining thing. I'm going to just try and change the weather. So believe it or not, that is the live weather in Hamburg just now. So let's just do evening. And we'll do a preset of forecast. Alright, so there we are. And again, yeah, there's no ship simulator, well, apart from the professional ones that give you this kind of free scenery. So I feel like I'm a little bit high now again. Can't remember. Yeah, it's just up and down on my cursor keys. So here we are, we're in Hamburg at night time. That's a famous opera house in front, which looks pretty good, and we've got some lighting on these buildings here. This is the default scenery for Hamburg. This is not anything special. You do get every so often this slightly odd texturing on the water surface, so you can see sort of red marks there. It's a flat cam, so let's go back again, and you do have pretty good weather here. So let's just make that a bit more windy. Yeah, now I get a stronger weather veining effect. Okay, so that does confirm the weather veining. So I need to turn that wind off, sorry guys. So there's a few things that make it difficult to use, I would say. Let's just put that to 0. Let's see if I can... No, we're going to crash here, am I? There we go, we're going to have a crash. Now we're upside down underneath the scenery. So there are some pretty good reasons why you can't use this simulator as a ship simulator. It's not, fully ready. Of course, I do have the ability to slew here, which I'm going to use. Slew is just, of course, this ability to move yourself around as you wish. Unfortunately, when you slew in, it does try to slew you in at a speed, as you can see here, suitable for an aircraft. So that's it. I'm going to call that an end. A short video from VR using ships there's some potential there if you want the feeling of being inside a ship. There are some add-ons you can pay for. I haven't bit the bullet yet because they just look a little bit dodgy and expensive, to be honest. But I'll monitor this space as soon as any improvements are made in terms of using Microsoft Flight Simulator as a ship simulator. I will let you guys know. That's all for now. So let's try and get out of VR and then stop recording.